go back to the present. Su Fen, 24 years of age, bronze medals in the 1995 World Championships and the 1996 Atlanta Olympic Challenge. This is how she's been preparing to defend her title.
像我平常每天练球的时间大概2个小时，然后做一些重量训练。
Maxine Nable, 21 years of age, this her World Cup debut. 7 times she's thrown 12 straight strikes for a perfect 300 score. This is how she combines her sport and her work.
I work for a doctor. I'm a doctor's receptionist, and I have a fantastic boss. I finish work every day at 1 o'clock, and he lets me off to go and practice in the afternoon. So I'm really lucky on that count. I've been working for him now for 2.5 years, and he's just great with time off. Like lately, this year has been, I think I've taken about 10 weeks off in the year, and I keep returning to work thinking I'm not going to have a job. But you know, he's quite pleased with with my work when I'm there, and he's a great boss. He's just fantastic.
Before they start, a quick reminder of the pin layout. 1 is the head pin, 8 behind 2 and 9 behind 3 are the sleepers, the gap between pins 1 and 3 being the pocket for these 2 right-handers. So now just 10 frames away from knowing who will be this year's AMF Bowling World Cup champion. It's Su Fen Tseng, the defending champion, who's been put in here by Maxine Nable on the left-hand lane. That's the lane the first bowler has to start in. And she likes it. And of course, that's the great start, isn't it, Bernard? Because immediately you feel good and immediately you send a little message to your opponent.
Certainly do. And this Maxine Nable from Sydney in Australia is one very good competitor.
But again, a contrast in styles, the spinner and now the power.
Well, plenty of power. She is a very, very strong bowler. And here we see this ball coming down into the 1-3 pocket, just a little bit off centre and not getting the full power strike. But she will take a harder surface ball and throw it at the spare. Safely converts a 9 spare in her first frame.
And again, like Shalene Zulkifli, who's ended up for the 2nd year running in 3rd place in this year's World Cup, has the power to use a 16-pound ball.
Very strong, very, very strong.
And not many of the women will be able to do that.
Not too many. Got a strike there, but again, she released it. It turned left very soon after she released it down the lane. Got over into the 1-2 pocket, which is the one that she didn't want to be in, but never mind. On the board was a strike, and that's what Maxine was looking for.
But she's in cracking form. Remember, in the semi-final round robin, she completely dominated everything. She won all 8 games. She beat absolutely everybody.
Incredible, yeah. She's a real top-class bowler, as is the defending champion here. Just a little bit too heavy there on the head pin. Just didn't drift far enough to the right as it normally does. As we will see here, good release from it. Look at it again, spinning helicopter style down the lane. But here you'll see there's no shake of the arm from her. It hits the head pin very much straight on. Lucky not to get a split from it, but leaves the 10 pin standing.
Su Fen.
You'll also notice here again that she uses the same ball all the time for both strikes and spares because of the type of ball that she throws.
Happy enough with that. Really has been a model of consistency in the last couple of years. In Northern Ireland, 2 years ago, 96, she was 8th in the World Cup and, of course, champion in Cairo last year. And in 96, in fact, it was when Cara Honeychurch of Australia won the title, and that was the bowler who Maxine Nable put out to represent Australia this year. But yet the pair of them actually won Commonwealth gold in the doubles in Kuala Lumpur. So the Australians have been going really well. Su Fen.
Once again, that one a little bit high in the head pin, just didn't get the same reaction. You'll see the pins don't bounce as much. If you look at it here, very much dead. There's not the same amount of action and life in the pin deck. Also, another thing that should be noted there as well, again, no wrist aids or no arm aids, no tape on the fingers, very much just straightforward.
And again, for this technique, the much lighter ball, just 11 pounds. Absolutely straight.
Hang on. And also notice that on Maxine Nable as well, she has no supports on hands at all. It's all straightforward. Does have a few bandages, I suppose, for the fingers there, because, you know, with the heat and the amount of games they have to bowl here over the last 4 days, and every day, it's quite a lot. You heard us say the word carry. It just didn't carry. But a very strong, very, very strong bowler. Here you see it comes across 10 pin. It's going to stay where it is. Didn't quite get the action. Again, out comes the harder surface ball, and she'll throw it. That's it, hard at it, and that's nicely converted.
The thing that's impressed me about Maxine, every time we've had a chat, totally positive. Absolutely, there's no question about her going all the way. She's from day one, she's known where she wants to go in this tournament.
Once again, didn't get carry on it, but again, good ball. It's in the right area, it's coming in, it's only a question of time and it'll make its way up to the pocket. She just has to make a slight adjustment, but it's still very good. Great follow through. She's tremendous power in that ball. And watch it as it eats its way into the pocket there. Really, really unlucky not to get a strike. Just a little bit lacking the pin action.
Once again, the clean-up ball. And once again, no problem. But again, you saw the force there, the pin really being
bouncing off the back.
Yeah. So at the moment, Maxine cleaning up, not leaving any open frames.
No, at this level, we don't need any open frames at all.
Su Fen just taking her time.
Well, the champion's been here before. She knows what it's like. See, that time she tried to just go away off the head pin, and you could see that she was more right than she needed to be, because the last couple of times she was just that little bit too heavy. Slight adjustment, leaves it too far right, has left the 2 and the 8, which is a sleeper. And for a spinner bowler, it's not really a difficult one. Just throw it straight at it and let the 2 take out the 8. There you see the 2 of them, one directly behind the other. That's it. Just what was prescribed.
Tidies it up.
You can see a direct hit. That's it. 2 takes out 8.
So now into frame 5. Just the 1 strike so far in the opening frame. Absolutely uncanny how she knows, but she does.
Once you see, she has her eyes set on a certain spot on the lane down there. Once it goes over that, she knows. You can see there it is, just off center on the head pin. Gets the action on the pins there, and she knows herself that's got to be a strike.
What's the response? That's the response. A strike in frame 5 for Maxine Nable.
Real good. Got the carry on this one. Ball right in the 1-3 pocket. Got the 10 pin out that time. No doubt about that.
This is awful close, this game.
2 pins there or thereabouts, I would say. Not too much. There you are. Another good shot.
Oh. And it just kicked over the 10. Well, that's power. Look at this. Watch the 10 pin on the left. It stays. But then it goes. and she smiles. Well, this is really living up to what we hoped it to be, a really close competition between these two. I can't imagine what all that noise is behind. They should all be watching this.
Little wave of the hand again. And another strike for Su Fen.
And it really is virtually even Steven with half the match to go.
Well, Su Fen has been top of the leaderboard all week, only to be toppled, if you like, on the way through the round robin by Maxine. But they've been number 1 and number 2, and there's only 2 pins separating them as we speak.
Three in a row, 4 strikes in all for Su Fen Tseng. And this is truly a close final. 7th frame for Maxine Nable. This is great stuff, Bernard. This is strike for strike.
Exactly. Beautiful, beautiful bowling. Bowling at its best. I mean, both of these players, it's amazing. The 2 different styles, one who throws away at right, one who gets it back in. And, of course, the helicopter or the spinner from Taipei.
Into the 8th for Maxine. Only 21, but she seems so mature. And another one. And she's really in the groove now.
1, 2, 3, 4 strikes, 5, 6, 7, and the 8th frame, and that is putting it up to defending champion. She's definitely going to have to strike here in the 8th frame.
Well, this is a great finale.
Right now, I think Maxine is about 15 pins in front, so Su Fen definitely needs a strike here to stay with her.
Doesn't get it.
Again, was just trying to miss the head pin just slightly to get a little kick to get the split, and of course misses it totally. Watch this. There you go. Leaves it. The 1, 2, and the 8. Again, she's left that little 2-8 pin, which is left once before in the 6th frame. This time, the 1 pin is there alongside as well. So definitely a spare required in order to stay within range of Maxine Nable. Very solid, very good. That wasn't an easy spare at that particular point in the game. She definitely needed to concentrate and get it done, and she did exactly that. So there you see on the scoreboard now that 7 spare there of Su Fen could really have been, could have done with a strike at that point.
But she's still in this game. There's no question she hasn't lost the title yet.
Not by a long way.
But again, just to emphasize, strikes are really what she needs now. That looks a little better, and she just gets it.
The pin action again was good in the pit area. And here we have a chance to see it in slow motion again. She just gets it on the right-hand side of the 1-3 pocket, gets the old action, get down, and it takes a long time, but it does eventually.
So, of course, Su Fen was first to start, so she'll be last to finish. Maxine now to really apply more pressure, and she does so with a great strike.
That's a superb ball. Another very good one right out in the outside. Ball coming right in and getting great pin action down there. A nice time to get a strike. It's, what's that, 5 in a row there. Strike in the 9th for Maxine.
Going into frame 10.
She certainly didn't want to get in near that head pin, so she made sure she kept it well out of the right-hand side to avoid getting a split in the 10th frame. Didn't come up high enough, but very nearly got a lucky strike from it, as it turned out.
I was going to say, she wasn't far away from getting the rub of the green there.
But you see, she needs the spare here, in other words, to lock out Sue Fenn, and that's why she was veering away from getting a split.
Right, so just doing some quick calculations now, and she's doing the same. I think she needs a 7 or better to be certain. And Sue Fenn could do nothing about this. She can only sit. If she gets, I think this is right, if she gets a 6 or a 5, then it could be back in Sue Fenn's hands. And that's a 7. Would you believe it, Bernard? She's got a 7.
Yeah. In the last frame, leaving the 4-6-10, that's why she made sure she steered clear of that head pin in the 10th frame, that she wouldn't leave such a thing.
And that's the maturity. 6 would have allowed this woman to have tied. 5 would have given her a chance to win. But as it is, she can try and just bowl out with style, and that's exactly what she does.
There you see. But certainly, Sue Fenn Tseng has done a tremendous job here this week in trying to defend the title. She has performed extremely well, but she's come up against a very tough lady in Maxine Nable from Australia.
And a strike in the 11th there means that were she to do it with this last ball, she could get to within 1 single pin. And I don't know whether she really would want to do that. She'd just think how frustrating that would be to be within a pin of at least tying for the championship. I'm not actually sure what the rules say if there's a tie. I suppose we have a bowl off, but that's academic. And she doesn't get it in the end. She gets 7 for 2-3-1, but by 4 pins, Maxine Nable becomes World Cup champion for 1998. And Australia regain the title. They last won in the women's division by Cara Honeychurch in 1996. So at the age of 21, a major ambition in Maxine Nable's relatively short career achieved.
Yes, it certainly is at her age to be first in the World Cup, first time in the stepladder final, and to go out as the champion. Absolutely tremendous and well bowled and well deserved, and it's great for the defending champion as well, to Sue Fenn Tseng.
Indeed, and hopefully we'll see both of them again. But here's Ben Peterson, Executive Vice President of AMF Bowling Incorporated, to present Maxine with the World Cup. She is the champion, and now you can be sure the invitations to travel the world and compete will come flooding in. These the final positions. And here's the happy champion.
It's just a prestigious title, and it's something that I've always wanted to win, and now I have. So no matter what happens, I'm always going to have this title to my name.
And it really rounds off, in a way, a fantastic season. Commonwealth Games gold with your great friend Cara Honeychurch, who won this title a couple of years ago. Individual silver. Tremendous year.
Yeah, I've had a fantastic year. I actually won my first men's tournament back home, so that was really important to me. I won the Australian Nationals, and I've won a few majors, so I've had a really great year, and this just puts a cap on it.
So what do you put it all down to? Why has it come right this year?
I'm not sure. I've been putting in a really lot of time in practice, not just on the lanes but other